After yesterday's massive disaster involving the reveal of DLSS5's new AI slop filter, the CEO of NVIDIA has decided to step in and respond to the backlash. It's a terrible response. Let's get into it. Alright, so just in case anyone does not already know, previously, NVIDIA revealed a new DLSS5 artificial intelligence-based graphical upscaling engine. And thanks to the fact that it seemingly runs on generative artificial intelligence, it ends up making all of the graphics for all video games look like a really terrible TikTok filter. Or just a general AI filter. It's really bad. It makes everything look like that generic plasticky homogenized AI art that you see used for really terrible shitposts and memes. And, well, it was less than 24 hours until there was mass backlash involving it where everyone was collectively pointing and laughing at NVIDIA for releasing this terrible looking technology. One day later, and the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, I believe his name is, pardon me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, has decided to respond to that backlash. Shout out to TechSpot for this article. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang says gamers calling DLSS5 AI slop are completely wrong. Completely wrong is in quotes. Huang says developers remain fully in control of DLSS5's looks. Do you think DLSS5 makes games resemble AI slop? That it's little more than an AI filter inserted into titles that neither wanted nor needed it? If you are one of these many people, NVIDIA boss Jensen Huang wants you to know that you're, quote-unquote, completely wrong. Few technologies have faced as much criticism upon their reveals as DLSS5. A vast majority of gamers are aghast at the way it gives characters a typical AI-generated uncanny valley appearance, especially Resident Evil Requiem's Grace Ashcroft and Leon Kennedy, as opposed to the photorealistic look NVIDIA claims. And yeah, it looks terrible. Just in case you didn't watch last video, I will put the image up on screen for a little bit. Tom's Hardware editor-in-chief Paul Alcorn asked Huang about the criticism in a recent Q&A session. Alright, these are his words. Well, first of all, they're completely wrong, Huang said. Alright, well, the first thing you say in response to getting backlash is to just say, you're all wrong. Yeah, that's not an ego trip. That's not you living in your own little bubble. Nope, not at all. But anyway, the reason for that is because, as I have explained very carefully, DLSS5 fuses controllability of the geometry and the textures and everything about the game with generative AI. Huang then repeated NVIDIA's previous disclaimer, that developers have full, detailed artistic control over DLSS5's effects to ensure they maintain their game's unique aesthetic, and that they can fine-tune the generative AI to match the intended style. But honestly, who gives a flying shit? Why would any gaming art director or any, designer of any form want to make a conscious decision to make the design that they spent so long working on to look like an ultra-generic flat AI filter? Why would anyone want that? It's not post-processing. It's not post-processing at the frame level. It's generative control at the geometry level, he said. Huang added that it's up to the developers to use DLSS5 however they like. This is very different than generative AI. It's content control generative AI. That's why we call it neural rendering, he concluded. We recently published Ryan Shroud's take on DLSS5. The analyst saw the technology running live and was very impressed, emphasizing that it's not just a face filter, but a tool that amplifies good rendering. Yeah, and it sure does. Despite Huang's explanations, everyone has their own opinion on DLSS5. An interesting Reddit post argues its biggest problem is not that it looks too AI or betrays artistic intent, but that its tone mapping is overly aggressive, creating an ugly, overcooked HDR effect that distorts lighting, color, and mood. User VDrac argues that the relighting underneath is often genuinely strong, but that DLSS5's heavy-handed HDR style processing muddies the result. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Artistic direction involving the best of the best video games are already very good, like Hi-Fi Rush and Resident Evil 9, which was brought up, and Overwatch. Say what you want about that game's current reputation, but its art direction is still top-notch. But if you take all of those already good-looking things and add these new AI graphical improvements, quote-unquote, on them, you're kind of just adding a different style on top of that style, and it's just muddying the water, you know what I mean? It's oil and water is what I'm trying to get at. By blending DLSS5 with elements of the original image, such as restoring some of the original saturation, lightness, and darker tones, the post says it's possible to keep the improved lighting while making scenes look more natural and faithful. After comparing several images, VTrack concludes that many of DLSS5's gains are real, but are being overshadowed by bad tone mapping that NVIDIA should dial back. This isn't the first time Huang has clapped back at critics of something his company has heavily invested in. In January, the CEO said the relentless negativity around AI is hurting society and has done a lot of damage. This is partially irrelevant, but I am kind of interested in Jensen Huang's butthurtness over this, so I am going to read this additional article just for a second. Jensen Huang says relentless negativity around AI is hurting society and has done a lot of damage. Won't somebody think of the CEOs? Jesus. Huang has made his feelings about AI skeptics, haters, and doom-mongers clear on a recent episode of the No Priors podcast. The boss of the world's most valuable company said, "The battle of narratives." Get out of here, dude. The battle of narratives? Between those who think AI will benefit society and those who believe it will degrade or destroy it was one of his biggest takeaways from 2025. Huang did admit that it's too simplistic to dismiss either of these views entirely, but believes some naysayers are having a detrimental effect. So yeah, surprise, surprise, the clown that's touting his AI slop is butthurt at the fact that we don't like that it's AI slop. Who would have guessed? But yeah, I think it goes without saying that you guys already know my feelings on this. This is unnecessary AI use at its worst. Right next to that AI actor drama I was talking about a little while back. But yeah, let's see what some commenters think. Alright, first comment I immediately see for this article is AI slop. What else can you call it? Oh, yo, bro, this is very different from generative AI. It's content control generative AI. We call it neural rendering. And this dude, just sick and tired of reading this article, just decided to comment, "Is there such a thing as buzzword soup?" That's pretty good. I mean, yeah, the guy's basically just flashbanging anyone with buzzwords in a desperate attempt to make his garbage seem professional. And that's kind of just what AI grifters do. I mean, that's pretty much what all grifters do. They've been doing this since with NFTs and crypto. What's that? People don't like my garbage? Oh, just spam buzzwords. That'll make me seem smart and make the product look like it's some brilliant piece of work. You know what I'm saying? I look at DLSS5 and just get uncomfortable. I don't know what it is. They look hyper real while also looking fake. My brain registers that as something wrong, but it doesn't know what it is. Yeah, there's a word for that, homeboy. It's called uncanny valley. I've seen creepy pictures and gory pictures, but DLSS5 tickles that same part of my brain that I can best describe as being uncomfortable. Oh, so someone actually replied to his comment and said the same thing. Yeah, it's uncanny valley. NVIDIA has become what Microsoft was in the late 90s. They don't give us what we want. They tell us what we want. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts. What are y'all's? Whatever it is, be sure to tell me in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're entertained. That's going to be all for this video, boys. This is Blacklight Jack signing out. You guys have a good one.